Hi guys!
Hello,
Good
hello.
to see you. Guys, for the very first time, we're going live into 5 different places. Just 5. So guys, we need your help now. If you can watch us, if you can see us, and if you can hear us, let us know. Give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, leave a heart. Just let us know that you are connected and you can hear us. We're gonna start in few minutes. We give people chance to come on and connect. So get yourself a drink and get comfortable, because we're gonna watch, we're gonna talk about very important things. Right, thank you, Gosha. I know you can see us. Right, guys, let us know if you can hear us okay, and if you can see us. Ange,
Yes.
say something so people can test both people.
I think we are already fine on from my side because I have Roy waving at us so he can hear us, which is great.
Oh, can you see this?
What's that? Sorry.
Oh, sorry, waving. Oh yes, I can see it now.
Did you put the live comment?
Yay!
Yeah.
Woo! We got it. Right, I'm learning all the time, guys.
We all do.
Perfect. Good, guys. Today we're gonna talk about stress, but not necessarily how you know it. Hopefully we're gonna surprise you, and we're gonna connect few things that are linked to a hidden stress. So guys, again, grab a drink, get comfortable. We're gonna start just in a few minutes. Right, at the minute we have 13 people watching. We have 4 people from Ange Fitness page. We have TRT Rehab, we have 2. We have Stronger and Fitter, we have 5. And there's nobody on YouTube yet. Oh, we have Ella watching. A little bit more brilliant. Time. Fantastic. Right, guys, we're gonna start. I think this is the snooze or lose. Oh, snooze and lose, even. Brilliant. So, Ange.
Yeah.
Stress. We hear this word everywhere. We know, we associate stress with work, family life, the factors that we know, that we know, and the media keep telling us about. But how about the stress that we are not aware of? Does it even things like that exist?
That's a very good question. This is something what, if you cannot recognize it, then the question is, how can you deal with it? You know, that's the first thing. And because we are living in a modern society, the sources of stress is much larger than, you know, in ancient times. It's not, you know, anymore stress that comes from survival and just fighting and just to survive in a rural environment. It just comes in so many different things. And you already mentioned, you know, work, you already mentioned kids, you know, but there is so much stress coming from consuming wrong food that we don't realize. Our imagination can create stress too, you know. So there's so many different things, you know, we could list, you know, a large amount of, you know, just different reasons. And we don't usually think about it. But I think it's a time to think about it, to deal with it.
And I really like what you said, because I think, I don't know who said that, but I love the comment. First of all, I love the hats. Yeah, we love the hats too. We like dressing up, we girls.
This is
guys, cheers. Cheers. And just so you know, looking by the color, looking at the glass, it's not always alcohol that we drink.
So you know.
I can't tell you what is in mine because you're gonna laugh. That's brilliant. Right. For me also, I think, because we live under the influence of so much stress from so many different angles, I think, isn't it possible that we got used to a certain amount of stress in a way that we don't even pay attention, we don't even realize that it is stress. And you've mentioned food. I mean, eating wrong food can cause stress on the body that we're not even aware of.
A simple reason, a simple example is like, if you focus on eating natural foods that are easily recognized by the body, there will be no stress created in the system. But in the modern world, we have so many ready-made meals, highly processed foods that contains not only natural ingredients, but something what is not natural for our body. So this automatically creates a stress because body just questions how to deal with those substances that we consume, And another thing is, for example, huge amount of sugar that we are consuming. Nowadays, they even add sugar to sausages, and people don't know about it. And that creates a lot of stress for the body because it's highly acidic, isn't it?
It is, but also it's not only sugar, which sugar you can find in nature, but now because a lot of media is, oh, too much sugar, what the companies do, they actually create a chemical that they can label as sugar-free, but it can be even more, it can be worse to your body than actually sugar itself.
100%.
So people go for product that says sugar-free, thinking, oh, this must be good for me, and actually they're putting more stress and poison into the body.
Yeah, it's much worse, to be fair.
So guys, can you just see how it all comes together and things? But we're linking stress now and there's misconception on diet that we've covered last week. And guys, we have for you a special guest today, a very special guest, very special lady who went through a lot, who've achieved a lot. She doesn't like to recognize that specially, so I'm putting her on spot now. But I have a big admiration for her. Let's welcome to the studio. Let's welcome our friend Asia. Hi, Asia.
Hi, Ivona. Hi, Ange.
Right. First of all, thank you very much for coming and joining our live stream, because you've done a lot, you've achieved a lot, and thank you for wanting to share your journey. And I know it's not easy to come on a live stream, and it's not easy to be in front of the camera. However, I can tell you, you can get used to it. So, don't worry about all the people. There's nobody out there. It's just between the three of us.
Exactly.
Okay.
So first of all, I want to say, I know people can only see you, your shoulders and up, but you are a very fit lady. You're very slim, you're very fit. And I know that because we exercise, we encourage each other. But it wasn't always the case. So can you tell us where did you start? What was your starting point?
Well, I think it started 3 years ago, probably three and a half years ago now. I think I had trousers size 20 and I stopped fitting in them. So then I said to myself, that is enough. I'm not gonna buy trousers size 22. So since then, I changed my diet. I started exercising, and within 15, 16 months, I've lost 21 kilo, which is just over 3 stones.
Wow.
Beautiful.
This is amazing. But
there was obviously loads of hurdles around the way. There was loads of, I can't do it. What's the point? Especially at the beginning when I didn't see any results at all, first few months. But I think after 6 months, when people around me, people at work started realize that I've lost that weight, that gave me massive boost. And as well, seeing myself in the mirror and trying to squeeze into clothes from high school or university, that was just really good feeling, and it just kicked me to more.
Good.
Let me ask you a question. What was the missing piece, the most important ingredient on your journeys that made it successful?
I think I didn't like myself being like that. And I think that was the massive thing. I wanted to like myself again, even though I know probably I did. It doesn't matter the size. Just for me, I just didn't feel myself.
So could you say that? Obviously, you said to yourself that this is enough. I know that I want better for myself. Was it linked with the fact that you do believe that you deserve better?
Of course.
I like that answer. Of course.
So much energy behind it. Yes. Woohoo!
I think in my head, I knew I can do it. I knew with the right motivation, with seeing the results, with smile on my face every morning, I knew that I'm going to do it. And there was no other option that I'm not going to do it. Because why not? It's me. You can control yourself. That's probably one of the things you can only control. Your things, your behavior, your attitudes. And if it's if you got right attitude, you wake up in the morning and you're smiling and you're saying you can do it, you will.
And I really do like that, because from my own experience, from working with many people, even working with myself, it's like, when you make a decision that you want to make changes, changing only diet don't give you the results, or it will be only temporary. But if you have this positive attitude and you keep going and you keep supporting yourself with the words of encouragement, this is the moment when you actually empower yourself and you keep going forward and you start seeing the positive results, the results that are really, really satisfying, not only on the physical level, but on the emotional level too. So very well done.
Exactly.
That's
Thank you.
Brilliant. And also, I know Asia's story, and I know that you've tried with the weight loss, you've tried before, but it was a bit of a yo-yo effect. So you were losing, gaining, because you were still under stress, and you had a lot of things that you dealt with in your personal life. But then I know things that shift for you when you've actually said, I'm doing it for myself. When you actually start liking yourself and knowing, I deserve that. I deserve to feel better.
Yes, definitely. It was a quite stressful time in my life. And I think when I got out of that position I was in, which I didn't like, which gave me stress, anxiety, and then obviously was problems at work, everything. When I got out of that situation, I finally, let myself do what I want to do for myself, not free.
Good, brilliant. And guys, before we move on, if you have any questions for Asia, obviously she's more than happy to answer them live. Now she just find out about it. No. But if you have any questions, fire away, because she might be the person you need to hear something from.
Yeah.
Because I know she's done a lot, she went through a lot, and she can encourage you. And Asia, for you, just look at the comments. If you can you see the comments?
I can't see the comments.
Can you not see the box when it says wow?
Oh yeah.
Right, so we have somebody saying wow.
And Becky is saying that's brilliant, well done.
Waving and clapping to you.
Thank you guys.
We have another comment that says that's brilliant, well done.
Thank you.
We have another person saying brilliant watch. So I just want to show, because I know it wasn't easy for you to come here today and be with us. In those few minutes, just look how many people you've already, your story, your personality touched.
Oh, thank you so much.
Right?
So
can you tell us, right? I'm very curious, because you started with the size, okay? You've mentioned size 20 and then it was going up. Are you happy to say what size you're wearing now?
I have no idea, because I don't look at the sizes anymore.
Excellent, brilliant. But I have to say, guys, that Asha is not only she's very tall, She got a stunning figure. She's like a model figure. Look, yeah, she has, and her legs are very long, like from the ground to her neck. So yeah, if you're looking for a supermodel, she's the girl for you. Right, there's another. Ashu, good.
Oh, thank you.
Brilliant.
You see, people love it. People love the real stories, you know.
Of course they do, because there are real people, and that's what it's all about. You know, this is somebody who lives next to you or next to me. You never know. But what I'm saying, that is real people. But yeah, so well done, and well done on your running. You're running now as well.
Yeah, there was a little challenge on Instagram, and one of my colleagues at work challenged me, and that's how it started, and I'm doing it every week now.
Wow, brilliant. We love challenges, don't we, girls?
Definitely.
Yeah, it always starts from those little things you don't even know, that little thing, the little sunshine in the sky, a person you met on the street, person you met in the shop, that can change things into positive, big things.
Definitely.
For me, what I really also like about the story, guys, if you try to change something, if you try to lose weight, if you try to deal with stress, don't stop punishing yourself. A lot of people punish themselves because they don't like where they are. The key is accept yourself where you are and then move forward. And it was the same with you, Asha. You actually acknowledge yourself, you start liking yourself, and that way you felt, I deserve it. I'm good enough to do and be whoever I want to be.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. I think acceptance, like you mentioned, is the most important key, because sometimes we just don't want to look at something what is not working. And I think the hidden reason for it is because we don't believe that we can do or be better. But once we acknowledge where we are, it's just like, okay, that's it. This is where I am, but this is not who I am. And I want better, so I'm changing the strategy. And you just take, just action that helps you to achieve whatever you want to achieve. And like you said, it's just not that straight. It goes like this, sometimes it's up, sometimes it's down, but you keep, just keep saying to yourself and affirming that you deserve better. And you've been there, you've done that, you didn't like it, but now you're creating something that is fully satisfying, and you will take it, the way it is, up and down doesn't matter, because you're going in the right direction. So I definitely, beautiful story. I just love your story.
Asha, we have a question.
Yes.
Question is in Polish. Asiu, czy teraz jesz małe porcje? Let me translate. Does Asha eat small portions now? So I think the person's looking for the answer about the portion size. So what's changed? The portion size changed, or the quality of food, or what has changed?
Portions hasn't changed. I eat when I'm hungry, and I'm eating what I like. The quality has changed. Like Ange mentioned before, I don't eat, although I do have odd days when I do eat the processed food. I'm trying not to. So we're cooking myself at home. But portions hasn't changed. No, definitely not. If I'm hungry, I'm gonna eat. And obviously, I'm not gonna overeat. So if I'm full, that's gonna stop. So eating as many times as you can during the day, so every 2-3 hours, but then you will not have bigger portions because you don't need them. You just eat what your body needs.
So you try to tell me that you lost over 3 stones and not being on a diet?
Well,
basically you eat better food.
Yeah, well, whatever we eat, it is a diet. It's just at the moment it's just normal food.
It's normal food, so you're not constricted by a
No, it wasn't a diet from someone, by book, from magazine or internet or whatever. It was just changing habits.
Brilliant.
Into healthy, and that's exactly what we talked about last week. And also, look, we have comment from Sue that you are a very inspirational lady.
Thanks.
Deal with that.
Yeah, you surely are. Beautiful.
That's really good. So guys, if you're looking for the magic key, if you're looking for, you know, how to lose weight, going on to strict diets, it's not necessarily the answer. And bullying yourself and killing yourself with exercise is not necessarily the answer. Well, it's not the answer.
No. 100% it isn't.
Asha, thank you very much. That
Thank you
was
so much
absolutely
for
brilliant.
having
Thank
me.
you very much for having the courage to come along, because I've asked you a few times and you were like, no way. Right, but we have another question. Right, so see, somebody's really intriguing your story.
Yeah.
Right, this is another one in Polish. Do you still exercise?
Of course, that's part of my life at the moment.
Why do you exercise? Let's continue on that. Why do you exercise?
Obviously, at the beginning, I was exercising 4-5 times a week. It wasn't a lot. It was like 15-20 minutes a day. At the moment, sometimes I do 5 times a week, sometimes I do twice a week. It depends how tired I am, how busy my life is, but there's no week that I don't do any exercise. I always do something, even if it's 20 minutes, lunges, push-ups, whatever. I just need to do something, because that's part of me now.
Question. Now, do you exercise now because you have to, or is because you like to?
Because I like to. It's when you obviously it's always hard to start, because I can't do it. What's the point? It doesn't change anything. But when you actually do even 15-20 minutes, the pheromones you got out of it, the energy, the motivation, how proud you are of yourself that you've done something out of your comfort zone, that it's going to make you feel just awesome, amazing. It's one of those feelings I just like.
Brilliant. Perfect. I'm losing my voice now. That's absolutely it. Spot on. Well done. Well done, and continue. Continue what you're doing and enjoy your journey.
She will. She will. You know this. She's highly
I know
addicted
she will.
to good feeling, yes.
No, you are an inspiration. Don't forget that, because I know we achieve, but we kind of hide it away. No, it's not important. No, it is very important, and we need to talk about, because a lot of people will struggle with that. So brilliant. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And be proud of yourself that you had the courage to join us in a live.
Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
Brilliant. See you later.
See you later. Bye. She's amazing.
She is amazing. Definitely, she's amazing.
Beautiful lady inside and out. I love it.
Brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Right, Ange, that lovely brings me to a question for you.
Oh, questions. All right.
Because, right, like we said, we know about stress, and a lot of people, we know how to recognize stress, right? We get fed up, somebody said something, we go, so, yeah, we do the fingers, 201. But I want to talk about the hidden stress. And how we deal with stress, and the behavior that we can spot when we're dealing with stress we're not even aware of. And that's wait, I know you want to say something, but I have a question for you.
Okay.
My question is, how did you deal with stress when you were younger?
Ooh.
Because on the outside, you were that lovely, perfect girl. Very healthy. But what actually happened on the inside?
Yes, that's something what nobody see and nobody know, So when I was younger, do you know what, when you're in a stressful situation, sometimes you don't look at the situation, you think, I am in a stressful situation, you just deal with it. But sometimes the way you're choosing to practice to deal with the situation is not always beneficial. And many people, I think, can relate that especially when you're a child and you have your family actually going apart, because that's what was happening when I was a teenager. My parents were going through divorce. I had to be the one who was supporting the family. I had this feeling that I had to keep them together. And even though we had some sort of, struggles, on that platform earlier, I had something what did help me to deal with it. And it was my horses. I was riding the horses that was saving my sanity, and it was fantastic. But when it gets to really, really like dark times, we got to those dark times, those horses were taken away from me. So I was fully, just pulled into the whole situation. And the only way I did find at that time that worked for me to deal with stress was overeating. So basically I was filling myself up with food because I liked food and it did feel good while I was doing that. But then I was struggling with the confidence, and I knew that eating will, just lead me to putting on weight, and then I'm gonna be, just looking the way I don't want to look, and I'm not gonna like myself. Nobody will like me, and then I developed bulimia. So, and that was a hidden thing, I didn't speak open about it, for many years, because I felt, just like guilt and ashamed, because, well, when I was a teenager, I thought that was just a temporary thing that did help me to deal with the situation. But obviously the situation changed, the years gone by, I moved away, I was living life, but this habit that I developed to deal with stress was popping up, when I had a problem to deal with it, with some situations. So I've created this vicious circle that eventually I'm talking from my heart right now. I just got to a point that I just realized that I have to change something, and I have to learn new ways of dealing with it. So it just didn't work anymore. So actually the stress that I was creating another stress, and it was, like I said, it was a vicious circle, and it wasn't the best solution, but it was a solution that worked for me for some time. So first thing that I had to do was just accept the situation again, and then learn new methods of dealing with stress, because fitness was helping me a lot, but I needed something more than just physical approach, so to speak. And I could elaborate and go, just further and further, but I think,
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Right. So what was your favorite food then? Because we usually we have our favorite.
Oh, I have. Then, when I was teenager, you mean?
When you were binge eating, yeah.
All sweets and crisps and probably nuts. No, everything what is tasty. Everything what is tasty, yeah.
Okay, guys, question to the viewers, and you don't have to obviously answer it for yourself. How many people do comfort eating?
Yeah.
When we feel stressed, how many people go and reach for food? And it's usually rubbish, and it's usually alcohol, and it's usually sweet things or carbs, so it will be your crisps. So naughty things, salty things. How many people like food when they feel a bit? Who goes for chocolate?
Yeah. It's just a comfort, an instant comfort that comes.
It's an instant comfort, yeah. And this is something that I also want to mention, that this is one thing that we can recognize. If you know, because sometimes it happens on the auto. I need to put that comment. Yeah. I hope it's not true, Well, as far as I know, you're in very good hands. So yeah, but guys, this is something that you can recognize from today, that actually when you go on the autopilot for your favorite naughty food, just check with yourself, what is it all about? Because 9 out of 10 things is because you feel stress inside, you are not happy, and you want to instantly pleasure the part of your brain.
Yeah. Sugar.
Yeah.
Rocket fuel.
Absolutely. And Roisa, you're in very good hands. Absolutely.
Huge.
I don't think you can be in better hands.
Oh gosh.
Brilliant. So yeah, guys, look at those hidden patterns, because we all have them. Another thing is, because we both like a drink and we eat naughty things from time to time. The difference, yeah, Ange, what's the difference when we go because we are upset and we actually gonna punish ourselves and we go for rubbish? And what's the difference when we actually go, let's say, for a glass of wine when we feel happy?
First of all, is the emotional state. That's where the difference is. Because if you're eating because you're feeling crap, then filling yourself up with crap, gonna make you feel even worse. But for the instance, if your normal, eating habits are good in general, then if you feel that and you crave something, you're not gonna feel guilty about having this little thing that is so-called naughty, if you know what I mean. And it's the same with drinking. If you drink when you are happy. Don't drink when you're sad, because drinking when you're sad is just like you're trying to deal with your emotions, and that leads you, to drinking more and more, and you can basically end up having problem with alcohols. Whereas when you're happy and just you're in general enjoy life, and you're going for that drink, it's just to have more fun. We have to just look at both sides of the spectrum. Because I'm not saying don't have those things. Of course, do have them, but it's just how you feel when you consume those things is, I think, the most important thing.
Yeah, because if you have them and you feel guilty after, then you're making the vicious circle again.
You do, yeah.
And what's the point? If you have something, have a little bit and feel good about it.
Or just enjoy it,
Just enjoy it, celebrate.
Yes.
Use it to celebrate, not to punish yourself.
Because there is another thing, you see, which I would like to mention, when you're feeling in general good about yourself and you have something you're not supposed to be having, well, let's say, but because you're in a good emotional state, your body will deal with that much better than if you are really, really, really in a bad place, because your body responds to your thoughts and to the emotional state. It's really that simple. So I think that people need to know about it, because this is really important.
It is. Yeah. Lovely. We have a great question from the Facebook user. I don't know who you are. It doesn't matter. What's the best stress exercise? Does such a thing as best stress exercise even exist?
I think it's very individual, isn't it?
Individual.
Yeah. So let me tell you this, or maybe let me ask you a question. I'm talking to this lovely Facebook user. What is it that you normally use or do to help yourself feel better? Because this is a very individual thing. There are people who love letting the steam off by going on the boxing bag and just punching as hard as possible. Yeah. That works because it helps really to get rid of and release the stress hormones, from the system. Some people will go for walks. Some people will pet the dog. Some people will go and they meditate. It's so many different things, but it's a very individual thing. And you have to ask yourself, what is it that makes you feel better? This is the number one key, I think.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I always talk with my clients about, what do you actually enjoy doing? Because the best exercise or activity for you is the one that you enjoy, not the one that I enjoy, not the one that Ange enjoys, because we're all different. So you have to find what you really like and then go with that. If you like water, maybe it's swimming. If you like being outside, maybe it's walking, running, whatever. So that's why it's great to connect with a therapist, and they can help you to establish a program and approach individually for you and your circumstances.
Yes.
and your preferences. That's the magic ingredient. There is no one bill fits all.
No.
And-
Be curious, because you don't know what you don't know. That's the truth. And once you start, just looking for the answers, testing and trying different things, you will eventually come across something what will resonate with you, and that will be the thing that you're looking for. That will be your method, how to deal with the stress. But not only with stress, it is with other things too, isn't it?
Of course it is, yeah. So, Ange, question for you then.
I thought I'm going to ask you a question first.
Okay, go on.
My turn. Fantastic. Finally. I'm curious. So tell me, Ivona, you're very successful in your practice and you come across people with different needs. And I would like to know, how do you recognize if it is a stress or trauma related thing, but not purely a physical problem?
Thanks. Wow, this is a good question. I will give some of my secrets away here. So, yeah, I deal with a lot of people, and people coming usually because there is a problem, obviously. I deal on a very physical platform, if you like, but also I do with the emotional stuff as well, because I know they come hand in hand. So let's say somebody present themselves with a neck and shoulder problem, back problem, and how do I know it's not purely physical? I feel it. That's the one. I work with my intuition a lot, but also what gives me a clue from people is what they say to me, but also what they don't say. And one of the things that I recognize is that if people been everywhere and they've tried everything, and they had scans and they had physios and they had GPs and you name it, and nobody can actually pinpoint on a point on what on the structure, the physical structure, then it's obvious it's deeper than the skin.
Yeah.
So, but I can recognize by how the body speaks to me. So it's a non-verbal language that I'm looking for, and things that people don't say to me. That's when I know what I'm dealing with, and then I can have a proper approach. And people that work with me, they know sometimes I ask them weird questions, but it makes sense later.
I don't think there's such thing like a weird question.
True.
We
have a question from our user, definitely not weird. Do you think that music and sport is the best?
You tell me. This is it. If you like sports, if you like music, and if this is something what really makes you feel good, then it will be the best for you. I think it's, again, very, very personal thing. And sometimes it's like, for the stress that you are in, even though that you might like music and you might like sport, you might not feel like the music is the thing that you want to do, but the sport is, even though both works for you. So it also depends on the situation. You have to really honor your own feelings and emotions and trust your own guidance, because that is always
choose your activity on a day, because it will change. So there is no such a script. So sometimes you feel like actually you want to blast loud music, you want to put boxing gloves on, and you want to give it all. And sometimes you just want to sit quietly.
Yeah, 100%.
So it varies from day to day. It really depends how you feel. The important thing is that you actually acknowledge your stress and you do something about it. And if you're not sure what to do, again, get in touch with one of us, because we can help you. We can help you to find the answer for you. We know how to guide you and to find out what's really tick your boxes and help you.
That always helps, isn't it? Reaching out to someone who offers the services is I think a very helpful thing, and you will know straight away if the person you get in touch with resonates with you or not, because you cannot work with someone unless you trust that person. because you have to be able to open yourself up. You have to be able to feel that you're safe to show your vulnerable side of you with the person who you're working with. So, you know, going out there, reaching out, having those free sessions that don't cost you anything is a brilliant thing, because they will point you in the direction of working with the right person who will get the best out of you.
Absolutely. And it's, like you said, it's important. And when we feel it, you know, when the person is right for us, we just feel it. And that's why I know, and you work in a similar way. We never force people to work
No.
with us. If it's not a good match, it just won't work. And we know that, we understand that, because we work at such a deep level. And also what is important, that people can talk to us, and it's very non-judgmental. We hear a lot of things that people might think, oh, I'm weird. No, believe me, guys, none of you is weird.
100%. Look at us. Look at her.
It's normal.
It is normal.
It's the new normal. Be weird in your own special way.
Yes, definitely. That's what makes you unique.
True. And thank you, Sue, very much for your comment. Much appreciated. I've been working with Sue for a few weeks now, and yeah, we have great results. Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Lovely.
Well done, Sue. Well done. You're in good hands.
So, Ange, this question for you regarding stress and working with your clients.
Mm-hmm.
From binge eating to being a bikini competition, taking part, and you also had a very physical approach, which was great, but then you felt there was a link missing, because your work now, or addition to your work, is very different. Why?
Definitely.
What did you find out on your journey that makes you go deeper than the skin level?
Oh, you see, I always been into sports, and I always was kind of attracted to physical activity, so to speak. So achieving a certain level in those sports, it was a pleasure to me. It wasn't about, you know, just showing anybody else that I'm better than them. It was just fun. So it was an easy part for me. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to work as a personal trainer. But it wasn't everything. It wasn't enough, in the sense of, when you start working with people on the physical level, then you find out that quite often the problems they are dealing with is, you know, is deeply rooted. It's not only on the surface. It's not the physical thing. And quite often we try to solve the emotional issues, you know, the deep hidden issues with the physical activity, where really this kind of problem, maybe not problem, not issue, problem, needs a completely different approach. I know this personally myself, because even though that I was achieving, you know, heights in sports, and I am proud of myself for you know, being able to do that, I had the stuff that I had to deal with that sport could not solve for me, you know. So that's why I started, you know, just pursuing and looking for different, more alternative ways of fixing myself. So then the sport that I was performing was really benefiting me. I wasn't overtraining anymore, and I had more pleasure of, you know, just doing all of those things. And like I said before, you know, clients that were coming to me, they often want to fix themselves on the physical level, where they are actually struggling with something what is deeply inside of them. So that's why I decided to change the direction, or add elements to my practice, just to be able to help them on many different levels.
Perfect. Like I said, we just know, guys. I mean, we both come from a very physical world, if you like, but we know that actually dealing with stress and trauma, it's much deeper than what it shows on the outside. And when your therapist is a witch. No, this way.
Wow, there is more witches, yes. But hold on, I need to point fingers like this, yes.
We just know we can recognize that, and we can dig a little bit deeper, and we can help you to find out, because a lot of that we don't realize about things that are deeply inside. But yeah, part of our job is to actually help you to realize and and then help you to overcome that. And when we know what we're dealing with, it's not difficult.
Yes,
To realize it's difficult, yeah. But we have another great question from a user. What to eat for stress or to prevent stress?
What is your idea for it? Tell me. I want to know your opinion.
Exactly. So yeah, this is the question for the Facebook user. What do you think is good or what do you think is bad? Guys, if the food is fresh, if the food is raw and it feels good, it's good.
And I will actually say something maybe from my own perspective, personal perspective. You can take it or leave it. Try not to cure stress with food. Try not to deal with stress with food, because we are creatures of habits, and you might deal with stress, and eat, to help yourself with that stress once, and then it happens second time and third time, and by the time you know it, you have this habit going on. Okay.
Yeah.
And it just plays out from the background, and you have a problem to change it. So I would suggest you to try some different methods, different methods of dealing with stress, not eating. Because food's supposed to be a pleasure, but if you eat food to cure your stress, then you stop enjoying the food in long run, and becomes your enemy, and that just it spirals down. So
yeah, brilliant. Well done for spotting that. But yes, I think the question is probably so we don't want to eat the stress. Basically, we don't want to comfort the stress by eating, but is there a food to help us, to help our nervous system?
Oh, definitely.
So,
all of the foods that are dense in nutrients, which are natural, because they support our brain functions, our cognitive functions, they are full of vitamins. All of this play massive role, because if our brain there is a nutrient deficiency going on, this might also lead us to a mental problems. And that happens quite often. Taking too much of medication when your gut health is basically your gut are not healthy. You're not absorbing any nutrients, even if you're eating right. So you have to ask yourself all of those questions. Why are you feeling this way? Just what can you do to improve it? But the way to go is always to head towards eating as natural as possible, because our body naturally wants to heal itself, but we need to know how to support it.
Yeah, and we have another person. Yes, thank you very much. Food with vitamin B. Yes, but also no, because vitamin B, I feel it's a lot of media press. Oh, vitamin B, B this, B12, B6, magnesium for this. But actually, we need all of it.
Yeah.
For good balance. So it's not just vitamin B; it's all the nutrients that we need all the time.
100%. And we need a different ratio too, because we're all different. So we have different needs.
Absolutely.
Right. Ivona, I've got second question to you.
Oh, I want to spot again.
Curious. Yes, of course. I'm a curious person, so I have to ask you a question. Listen, tell me, how do you do it? Because, every time I have massage with you, you just know where to go, and usually it's not where it hurts. So I am just... Can you feel stress through touch?
You're revealing too many of my secrets tonight.
I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Yes, I part of my practice is also helping people through massage, and I love massage. And I have a lot of people who present themselves with pain. But then suddenly I offer them, okay, perhaps you have pain, let's say in your neck, but I wanna deal and work on your feet. And people go, why my legs? Well, my feet. I came with the neck problem. A lot of the time, the problem is not where it hurts. That's when it manifests itself, but actually the problem is somewhere else. Also, you've asked me if I can feel stress through touch. Yes, I can. And I thought for a long time that everybody can. But then when I've attended courses with all the massage therapists, it actually turned out that not everybody can feel that way. So I must have some special, I don't know,
gift,
special touch gift that I can feel it. Because tissue feels different. When I deal with person who's stressed or went through trauma, the tissue vibrates and is different feel. And I can feel there is difference between, on the same tissue, on the same body, there is difference between where there is problem and there isn't problem. So I can detect that. So that's why sometimes I work on people and I give them massage and I said, actually, I know it's your neck, but I want to work on your hip.
mm-hmm.
And the people said, how did you know? I just feel it. And I go with the feel, and all I can say is like, I talk with the tissue, I talk with the body, and I just feel it and I go with it. But so, yeah, I don't feel stress through the tissue, through the touch. It just talks to me differently.
Beautiful, beautiful. And I think this is, how you use your intuition, isn't it?
Yes.
You trust it, and it turns out that you're right.
Yes.
And that again confirms, just that the physical approach is not always the answer, isn't it?
No, it's not, because I often work with my eyes closed because I don't want my analytical head to get involved. I close my eyes, and I just place my hands on the person, and then I go from there. So definitely I work a lot of my time with intuition, because I know the intuition is always right, and the head gets in the way.
I wonder where you got that from.
Who knows? But you work with intuition with your clients. You understand what I'm talking about, and intuition can show in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe everybody has intuition, and we can deal with stress using our intuition. How would you deal with stress using your intuition, knowing what's right and what's wrong, and how to avoid stress using your intuition and not necessarily doing what your head's telling you?
Well, for a start, probably avoiding your stress is not the way to go, because that creates more stress. You are becoming more scared of it. And I think fear and stress, it's just a really bad combination. So when there is a situation that it appears to be very stressful, obviously you can just try to shake it off. You can do physical activities that helps. You might, like we mentioned before, you can listen to music, you can dance, you can read the book, you can meditate, you can meet with friends. There is so many different ways, and you can deal with that way. But if it keeps coming back and it keeps coming back and it keeps coming back, I find that when you're really in the funk, you won't be able to find the solution at that moment, because you cannot think straight. You have to just level down this level of stress, calm yourself down, and then you actually can look for the solutions. Because when we are really stressed, we get into a panic mode. The blood flows away from our frontal, just the frontal cortex, and this ability of analyzing things do not help finding the solutions. So just calming yourself down first, and then looking for the ways how to deal with it. So there's many different ways, but like you mentioned before, I use a lot of my intuition, and I kind of, from my experience and what I've done so far, I've learned to listen and honor my emotions, and that helps me to find a solution how to deal with myself. I just kind of know, but I'm listening to myself. And what I do when I work with clients is I am helping them to believe in their own intuition, and we are working things out together, because like I said, everybody is different. They need a different approach, they need a different strategy, but it's not the strategy that I create for myself for them. It's something what we create together.
Absolutely.
And then it's not about disempowering someone, it's about empowering that person, because once decisions are finished, this is something what they take with them home. And this is the environment that they have to be able to apply those things and help themselves.
And this is very beautiful because actually we work in a very similar way, although we work differently, but in a very similar way, that actually we're here to empower people and show them that they can deal with things by themselves. So we're giving them the tools for life. And like you said, my approach is not necessarily my key, how I've helped myself is not going to help everybody, but the tools that people can apply to their circumstances that are different matter altogether.
100%. And I'm 100% sure that you agree with me that every single person who we come in touch with, we are learning from those people something new about ourselves too, you know, because first of all, intuition can surprise you in so many different ways. But I personally am very humbled because you cannot pretend that you know answers to all questions, and sometimes you have to just say you don't know. You have to do it, you know. But I think this is what helps people, you know, just to build the relationship that is based on trust, which is what I mentioned before. The trust is very important, and finding the way out, because in the end of the day, remember this: you know exactly what works for you.
Yeah.
And you know, nobody else can tell you better.
No.
But sometimes someone can assure you to help you to believe in your own answers, you know, and that's what we do.
Absolutely, that's what we do. We just enable people to actually find their own answers. And I love the comment. I know that the massage and daily energy routine are the best.
Who's using
they
daily
are the
energy
best for
routine?
you. And we're very happy to hear that. But yes, everybody has their own way of dealing with stress. And yes, good. Guys, we have last few minutes of our show, of our discussion. So if you have any more questions for us, fire away. This is the time. Because we have the last few minutes. So let us know. Let us know if this was helpful. Let us know if you have any more questions. Let us know if you've enjoyed the show and you like the hats, because that's important.
Next week I might bring Hoover.
We're gonna do something different each week, guys. We might surprise you, and that's the plan.
It's just about showing you the quirky side, you know, just of us, you know, because being professional doesn't mean stiff. You don't have to be stiff.
No, and we don't want to be.
No. The inner child.
in all the way.
Oh, thank you, Vicky.
Love the hats. Thank you very much, Vicky. Brilliant. Also, what I want to say that people say, you know, how to avoid stress and using intuition. What I find, guys, if something doesn't feel good, you simply say no.
Yeah.
Without regret. If if you ask to do something in your job that is outside of your role and you feel uncomfortable, you say no. If you make arrangement with friends or family that you actually don't feel like it, then you say no. And that's how you actually protect yourself, you protect your boundaries, and you minimize the stress, the triggers that might appear. Go with your intuition. Always.
Trust your intuition.
Yeah, trust it. It's always right, guys. I love the hats. We have another user. Thank you, guys. We love the hats too, really.
But have you noticed, I've just spotted that, you know, I have matching top with your hat and you have matching top with my hat.
You do, yeah. Can we do a swap? But actually, we like the contrast.
Yes.
Actually, guys, I love it because it actually. Oh, thank you very much. It was good. Actually, this is lovely to end because in all of us, there is the light side and there is the dark side.
The dark side. Exactly.
And we appreciate them both. And we love them both. And we're going to work with them both. There is. Everybody has a bit of a naughty side and a fun side and a loving side, and we know different.
Exactly. Everything is in perfect balance. Day and night, yin and yang, you know, cold, hot, the sun, the moon. So
yeah,
everything is in perfect balance.
Oh, thank you, Louis.
Yin and yang, exactly, Vicky. Love it.
Oh, we have another comment. Lovely, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for the Friday evening. We have a lot of fun doing it, and I hope we can help you. And yeah, but guys, next week, just so you know, we have a special subject. Almost, that was so close. Oh, Rui said that some more than others. You mean the good side? Of course, we have more of the good side.
Yes, definitely. Of course. I'm an angel, by the way.
Yeah, hide the tail, hide the tail.
Hide the tail, exactly, and the horns.
So guys, next week, next Friday at 6 o'clock, we're gonna talk about how to get, I have a little card, how to get what you want in life.
Ooh.
Oh, because we have a lot of wants, we have desires, we have plans. A lot of the time we don't believe we can achieve them, or we scared, or we actually scared to actually voice it what we really after.
Mm-hmm.
So next week we're gonna talk about how to get what you want.
This is interesting.
And Rui said, of course, there's more angel of us than any other bad stuff.
Love it.
Yeah, but Jessica, don't trigger. If you live with a witch, don't trigger it. Feed it good energy.
Only positive energy, definitely, 100%.
Absolutely. No, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much for your time. And yes, how to get what you want in life next week. Get your questions ready. It's going to be interesting and probably something you don't expect.
Interact with us. We're really looking forward to connect with you. It's so nice to be able to answer your questions and see that you actually have questions, that you're curious, because everything's about curiosity, as long as you're curious, you will always get the answers here or there. So Thank you very much and well done.
Thanks, Guy. Have a lovely evening and enjoy your weekend. Let's hope we have a bit of sunshine. And Rui says thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye. Bye.